Where is she?
Some days you wake up.
How do you do the thing with that? How do you do that? Whoa, how do you do the thing going down there?
What?
How do you do the lines going around your person?
Kelly, I have no idea. I have lost all control over the live.
That looks unbelievable, though. That's like what thumbnails for YouTubes. You know what I mean? How do you that's an effect that you have going on that I want to know about. And then I need to figure that out by the end of the live.
Well, just come to my house and we'll figure it out together.
Okay. All right. So what do we got to talk about? I already teased the John DePetro stuff, but to your audience that's coming in on your side of the live, we're going to talk about the fact that we have a new war brewing. And fortunately, I have a tag team partner this time. It's not just me alone fighting people anymore, and it's not just her alone. It's Dave and Nurse Cam versus John DePetro. All right. They call that, I think, in professional wrestling, handicap. No, I know professional wrestling a little bit better. I watched it growing up, or I know it a little better than you. It's called a handicap match. Is that what it's called? Now I'm blanking. Yeah, 2-on-1 is a handicap match, I think. I'm pretty sure it's a handicap match. And neither side is going down. Like John DePetro, he's a fighter. All right. This guy, he's driving around with cops at night.
Is he a scrappy one?
He's scrappy. And I know his glasses don't make him look like he's scrappy, but that guy's scrappy, right? He looks straight out of like the 1980s. But he is scrappy. And you see he's posted 17 videos this afternoon. So that's just him. He's not doing.
I posted a response.
You posted a response before our live?
I did.
Oh, my God. All right. And you posted a response. So here's the thing. Let's just get right into it. He called us out for the fact that Greg Hill and Courtney Cox, WEI's morning show team,
I love it.
In the past with Kirk Minahan, because they took over when Kirk left WEI, have we made fun of Greg Hill's show quite often, and has Kirk done so? Yes. Was Kirk my employer and I was in on that and trying to find audio to get them in trouble and maybe make them take diversity training and things like that? Maybe that was a job I had. Who's to say? I don't know. Maybe that's why the dinner that they were invited to, I was also invited to, and I declined that offer. Maybe that's why. Because it would have been very awkward to be in the same presence as those two. Just saying. Just putting that out there. However, they went on the radio. I will set it up. And they said that Karen Reed told them that John did not have a problem with Colin Albert. All right. And so John DePetro has posted at this point now 4 videos.
I can't handle those I cannot handle the chicken on your head. I live for it. I'm sorry.
Did I have a chicken? I'm sorry. See, this is the thing. This is why you got all. See, you get messed up. You blame me for the first Monday night YouTube live stream. I have 2 computers. I have an iPhone going on. I have to look at this screen to see my chat. Like, you just have a phone. You don't even have a microphone.
I just got the white chalk around me, babe.
White
right?
chalk.
Like, that's all I got going on.
You got nothing going on. I'm literally in my own little control room here trying to pull this off for us so we can take live phone calls.
Love it. Now, I love it. You got everything. Now you got a chicken on your head. Okay,
so
go.
John DePetro, chicken. Thank you for the chicken, by the way. So John DePetro posted like 3 videos. And I'm going to play this one. I'll play it in its entirety so we can just kind of break it down. But we
need to break it down, guys, because this got me worked up. Okay, yeah. I was feeling some sort of way. I would have clutched some pearls had I had some on.
Right. So I'm kind of I hate this because he legitimately called us out on kind of a serious, like he's actually being serious.
Yes.
I just wanted to I wanted to play the video of him talking about Whitey Bulger and Kevin Weeks and just mock it for an hour and a half, because legitimately it's like it is psychotic in the best way of internet content, by the way. Like I don't necessarily think he's probably not even a bad guy or anything like that. We disagree with him on the case. No. It's fine. This video is psychotic. Like if you did this, there'd be no way I couldn't make fun of you for like 3 hours straight. It would be the funniest thing of all time. It was the craziest video. But let's play the one. You want to play the one where he calls us out so we can actually talk about like real content first?
By name.
All right. I think it's long. This video is. We don't have to play the whole thing. He did like a 9-minute rant. So hold on. Let me see if you hear this. Uh-oh. Oh, hold on. I know what happened. Hold on. No. I got it. I got it. Nope. I got it. I just forgot one thing. No. It's not. It's.
I passed away.
Hold on. Wait a minute. I'm actually not happy about this. Oh, wait. Did I plug it in? Uh-oh. Oh, wait. I'm an idiot.
Hi, guys. Here's the thing.
No. Hold on. I had it down.
I'm talking about
Thank you. You got it, right? I had it down.
I was playing
music. I know. I was playing music. By the way, I like technical problems. They excite me a little bit because chaos just ensues after. And
You
I like
guys?
that. Yeah, I like that kind of stuff. All right, John DePetro
I don't.
talking about. You don't like it?
No, I listen, if you like it, I'm okay with it, but it gives me anxiety, okay?
Okay. By the way, before we get into this, and I know we're just teasing this, and then we're never going to end up playing it probably. The fact that your
very
kids
Hillman
are
of us.
basically, your kids are gone. They're like with other people right now, and you wanted to do a live stream at 5 p.m. Why would you want to do this?
Because I love you. Because I love you guys. I wanted to see
Like,
everyone.
make plans and like go
the
rejoice.
the kids are at a baseball game.
Right. Yeah, but you have like 4 hours to yourself. Why wouldn't you, like, I don't know, go out to dinner, start drinking early or something? Why? No, not in the mood. Times have changed.
Yeah, no, I was cool with it. If you said you wanted to do it, I said I would do it. If you said you were busy, I would have figured something out.
You're the one who texted me at 7:30 a.m. to do this. I'm just saying I would have been like, if the kids were gone, I would have, whatever. That's your choice.
So I'm going to try a series of videos, a little more long form, in talking about the Karen Reed case, because I know a lot about it. I've been on it since over a year now. Last July and August, I started communicating with someone that was with the defense. And I feel that the way...
This is interesting, by the way. I'm stopping that for 1 second. We'll literally break this down.
Yeah.
Quote, I was communicating with somebody who was with the defense.
What does that mean?
So first of all, I'm going to call bullshit. All right. I like to lie on TikToks too. All right. I don't have as many sources as I claim I do, but I have some, but I don't have as many. I'll if I have 2, I'll say it's 7, because I feel like 2, especially in the Karen Reed case, 2 sources is a good amount of sources, but then you want to hype it up even more. I'm going to go on a limb and say he doesn't have a source within the defense camp when he's saying this. I'm also
going to say that is a very typical thing of men in general, and that's why women don't know what 6 inches is.
Right.
Okay,
Size matters. By the way, this isn't a question. You brought up gender. I didn't bring up gender, but I told you today I got a new dishwasher at home.
Oh, okay? You did?
Right. And so we just did our first cycle of it, and we did the extra dry setting, by the way, and it came out all wet still, like everything's still wet. So it's brand new. Here's my question. What am I missing? Because I've looked through everything, and do you think there's like a cap on the heater that I'm missing? Is anybody out there in the internet world? You know what I'm talking about? Like, is the fan not blowing hot air because it's covered? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't know what you're doing, but maybe tell your wife, to call an actual plumber or somebody.
We brought a plumber in, right? But he didn't he installed it. He's kind of like a family friend. So yeah, I could see him missing something. Does anyone know this? I see chat's moving there. Is anybody saying cap on the drain in the sink? You might need to get drying detergent, jet dry. Wait, what? I'm not buying heat settings on the heat. Okay, we can play the audio. I'm sorry. I'll figure it out. Can I go back and read the chat anyhow? Is that possible?
No.
Oh, fuck. All right, I'm screwed.
Guys, if you have any dishwasher secrets,
right.
DM Dave, because this is big doings. I told him that I needed us to get our shit together so that we could make good content, so that I could get a Samsung I want a refrigerator that has that does the day planner and has the family hub. Right. And Dave was like, thank God my wife didn't see that, because I wanted that. And Mr. Nurse Kim said, absolutely not, bitch. We are not independently wealthy. And I said,
good man.
Someday.
Smart move. And you do not need a day planner on your refrigerator.
I do, though.
That's crazy. If you guys have any ideas, by the way, DM me, because I'm clueless. My gut tells me it's like a plastic cap that I needed to take off that I didn't know about. So
you didn't. Yeah, you did. You screwed something up.
Yeah, we didn't read the instructions. We just put it in like men. All right, here's the audio.
The way that I was trying to do these videos, it's not breaking through for various reasons. But one of the things that you have to look for, and again, there was...
Wait a minute. Did he just shit on himself? Did I miss that?
He did. He said that his videos, guys, listen to this. John, just a beacon of hope in the Commonwealth and in Rhode Island. He just said for whatever reason, my videos aren't breaking through, but there are 2 assholes that are.
Whoa, don't tease the next thing. Don't tease the next thing. But let's just say you're listening to that for the first time. You're basically saying okay, so your videos aren't resonating. It means your content's
Clearly.
not the content's not good. Nobody cares for it. So why are you posting like 7 a day on this? Why don't we switch it up or something? I don't know. But credit to him, he's being honest with himself. I like it.
Some people that they don't want the truth. But if you're on the fence or you're really wondering what happened, something really significant just happened with the Karen Reed case. And that is, and I'm going to call out some people. I'm not going to.
You guys hear this well in the chat? Give me 1s for yes, 2 for no if you can't. I just want to make sure. Yeah, you can hear it good?
I hear you. Yep.
Okay. All right.
Attack
It's
them.
just we hear it's his
I'm
voice.
not going to go after
Yeah.
them, but there are people on this platform that Karen Reed basically gave an on the record, her first interview after the trial, and said something.
All right, correction. But it was not an interview. It was
And
a
it wasn't
dinner.
on the record either. Well, it wasn't because
I
listen,
would say it
Courtney
was.
and Greg, they both stumbled over their words. I can say this, I can't say this, I can say this, right? So don't tell me it wasn't carte blanche, like for them to say whatever they wanted to, guys.
Well, if you don't want to be an asshole, like I think that if you were invited to dinner, and it's also like a half meeting, is what Greg Hill said in his segment there. I think he just kind of like didn't want to. He didn't want to like expose anything over the top, but like general things that they discussed, he probably could just put out there. But reality is, if you're a radio host in Boston and you are like explicitly not told you can't say something, to me, everything's on the record at that point. Everything. So I probably would have. No, I'm an asshole. I probably would have had the conversation, and I would have went on the podcast if I was still on it, and I would have said everything that was said at the dinner. To be completely
You're
honest
so
with
full of shit. You would have recorded it and you would have said, I'm
No,
recording.
you can't illegally record people, and I know that very well. You can't illegally record people, but I would have said
No, but if you told her, hey, I'm recording this just so I can look at it.
No, she would have said no for that. She would, then all hell would have broken loose. But
It was just me and you. She would have said, that's fine, Dave. You got it.
Right. No, but I think that this was an on-the-record conversation, but I think that you and I have had this conversation, and this is not kissing her ass. This is also from talking to people that know her well. She is very bright, right? So she taught at Bentley. She was worked for Fidelity. You can see her in the courtroom writing notes nonstop. You can see her whispering things to the attorney. By all accounts, behind the scenes, she is acting as if she is one of her own attorneys as part of that defense team behind the scenes. That she knows how to dance, even though she probably has not been media trained or anything like that, or maybe that's happened with the defense because the case is so high profile. She knows how to dance. Like, you know what I mean? Like she's been put through things, seen her name on the internet enough, seen her name on TV enough. She knows how to dance around whatever Greg Hill and Courtney Cox want to ask. She would know how to probably dance around,
Well, and he said that in his video too. So if you could just continue to play it that we can actually get to the juicy part.
That's fair. Don't call me out.
Really important and very compelling, and there are people that aren't even talking about it. So, and there's nothing, I don't understand why they're not talking about it. I mean, I think I know why people aren't talking about it, is because they don't want to, it ruins the narrative that they've helped create. And I'm not going to attack them, but there are people on TikTok, Dave Culhane and this Nurse Kim, they seem like nice people.
Why can't I be Nurse Dave so people don't mispronounce my last name? Like I need a thing. I would think my last name is easy to say, but now I'm only mad about him mispronouncing my last name, and I don't really care about the call out, to be completely honest with you. It doesn't even matter to me anymore.
Well, he said, and this Nurse Kim. At least you had top billing again.
Yeah, I have credibility.
Okay?
I have credibility. We both worked at the same place, not at the same time, but for an extended period of time, we both worked at the same employer there. That's interesting. All right, so he is trying to claim that you and I have not talked about the fact that Karen Reed basically cleared Colin Albert from any wrongdoing, which then clears the entire conspiracy or anything around it, clears that all up, basically.
But I did. Here was the thing that I need to clear up.
Right.
Is that I made a video about this, about it, before he made his first video about us not talking about it.
Right. We also go, first of all, you don't always make videos on every piece of topic, right? Like every topic that's out there, right?
No.
We've done a lot of videos, but we don't always do that. We go live pretty often individually together, we tweet. There are so many different places of content that we're a part of in some way, and that so is he. Like, I'm not judging him based only off of his TikToks, or even based only off of things that like. I would give him the benefit of the doubt in most cases. Like, I don't know how to word this, but in terms of like if he's questioning things, like, yeah, you know what I'm saying. I have talked about that on lives with you. I haven't done a video like you did and posted on the timeline or anything like that, but I have talked about it on lives. We literally, we aired the interview live. We aired the segment live and talked about it and said, no, like that's not, I mean, Karen might have, quote unquote, exonerated Colin, and I'll let you start the defense of that, but that was never the argument, and that was never the proof. The conversation was always that John O'Keefe made a phone call to the Canton Police Department about drug activity in his neighborhood, and we did not have the name of that individual. That's it. Like, there was never, and I understand that Colin Albert has been a part of conspiracies, and by the way, like, he's a witness in this case. He was at the home that night, for God's sakes, right?
And didn't get interviewed for 2 years later.
Didn't get interviewed. Okay. He was at the home. People are going to question his actions. People are going to question a lot of things surrounding any witness in this case. If there were witnesses on the other side that were trying to like clear Karen's name or things like that, they would question them. Like we would question them the same exact way. So it's not. It's insane for him to think. First of all, he got the information wrong. She basically was just confirming John never made a phone call and said Colin Albert's name specifically. That's it. That's all
about
she said.
rugs. Yes.
Right. That's it. That's all she said. And we don't know anything else. We've heard rumors. I've heard rumors that like I forget what was the first one with him and John, and then like he showed up and threw beer cans on John's yard or something. Remember that rumor?
Yeah, there was just all the lawn stuff as neighbors. But he then goes on, guys, to talk about how like Chris Albert and Officer John O'Keefe were these close friends, and that they that he had been in D&E Pizza with his nephew, and that Officer John O'Keefe and Chris Albert were texting. Okay, so I had to rebut and say, yeah, I hear you, John. I'm picking up what you're putting down, but it's also just a little bit odd and slightly off-putting that you're going to say that like they were these close, or like that they had a texting close relationship. That's why he was texting him that night. January 28th, 2022 was the first day they ever exchanged numbers. Right. And they lived on One Meadows for years.
Right.
Years, as like 2 houses away from one another, and you didn't have his phone number?
That is kind of weird.
That's weird.
That is weird.
You didn't have his phone number till 12 hours before he was found on your brother's lawn.
What about the text? So who had his number? What about those texts? I'm just blanking.
It had to have been Julie.
Yeah, Julie had his phone number or something. Yeah, I mean they were clearly friendly. He didn't have his phone number, and he went through the wife or something like that. They were clearly
yeah, but they
friendly.
weren't texting. They weren't text friends. Right. So that's weird that you're like, oh my god, like that he's making it out to be that that him and the nephew were over at D&E, and that like this was commonplace, and that Karen basically just blew up her entire defense by saying that there was never any rug activity reported on Colin, which I don't agree.
I just think that too, and I feel like I've heard John say this in some videos. Like I think he obviously thinks Karen's guilty.
Yes.
But he doesn't like, he knows she's not stupid, right? Like he doesn't think she's stupid. And so he knows that she would not be like, oh, Colin Albert is innocent in all capacities, Greg and Courtney, and that's how he's playing it off in his videos. And he's saying, why isn't the media or why aren't people on TikTok picking it up? Well, one, because we know for a fact like that is absolutely not what she meant whatsoever. Because first of all, when she was indicted, remember she was in the police room, we heard the audio, and she was like, yeah, Colin Albert, didn't she say Colin Albert's name in that? What was her quote? John was obliterated, or remember that quote?
That my taillight was cracked and John was pulverized.
But didn't she name Colin? Am I wrong?
Yeah, she said Brian and Colin Albert.
Brian and Colin, right? And so like she would not just then go to dinner and sit down with Captain Random Greg Hill from WEEI and Courtney Cox and be like, oh yeah, I'm just going to casually exonerate Colin Albert from all activity of this case whatsoever, right? That makes no sense. That was played in open court where she mentioned his name and made some type of accusation. We don't have enough there to say anything on our end of what else could have happened involving Colin Albert, but I mean, she wants to go there clearly because that was the first thing she did.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and that was when you're absolutely right. So that, guys, if you forget where that quote came from, that was from Karen when she was arrested the second time, right? When they upped her charges from manslaughter to second degree.
Kiki said it, quote, you in on the joke, that whole thing. Everybody, if you heard, you would remember it once you hear it. You in on the joke, Brian and Colin beat him up, John got pulverized or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was, so I just give her, that's part of this too, is we do a lot of videos where I feel like we even have given the Commonwealth of the Massachusetts the benefit of the doubt in some situations. And like if they said the wrong time or something like that, like, yeah, we called them out and made fun of it, but like that shit happens.
Yeah.
There is no way that Karen Reed goes to dinner with two people she has never met before and exonerates a witness in the case from every angle of whatever could have happened. It's unreasonable. So I don't know why he's doing that. And then just accusing us specifically of it. Like, first of all, the other side of that too is like, we're just two dummies on TikTok talking about a case. And I appreciate that people follow us.
We're a nurse and a Dave. What do you want from us? Like,
I appreciate that people follow. I appreciate that people watch, listen, type, all those different things. Like, I value every aspect of that. But
we love your face.
But the people who have hung on with us this entire time, I don't think they expect to see us on like NBC Nightly News anytime soon. That's just my
Dateline here.
Right. That's my gut feeling. Like, I don't think they think that we could never be wrong or that we specifically like try to manipulate the public by saying anything. I would love to think I had that skill set. I'm way too stupid to fucking manipulate people on the internet.
Yeah.
I'm way too dumb. So that's that. All right. What else do we want to get into? Do we want to play the rest of his rant? I don't think he says, does he say anything else crazy in that?
No, he said that he thought that we were nice people, like a couple of times. But then he also like said that another TikTok creator lives in the projects somewhere. So I thought that was a little bit off base.
Who's that? Who's the TikTok creator that lives in the project?
I don't know.
Oh, he just like accused one person.
He said
What's wrong with the projects?
Nursed him. Huh?
What's wrong with the project? We could use somebody who lives in the projects. We could use like someone
Listen,
to
and I
toughen
ain't
up
too
this
good.
vibe that we
When
got
I
going
was-
on. Like we need someone with a little street cred out there a little bit, street smarts.
Yeah, well, my family's from the projects, okay? When we were, when not like a couple,
So
not my generation, but like I lived on Felton Street and that was damn near the projects, okay?
Oh shit.
Yeah.
I wonder which creator that is. I think it's Gooch, personally.
He's
It's all right. I'm just joking. It's either Gooch or it's probably Daniel Pants, to be completely honest with you, because that's not
Daniel
a bad thing.
Pants lives in a penthouse in New York, okay?
Yeah, he does look like he's got it.
project.
Yeah, he looks like he's got it. Daniel Pants. I watch every single video of his now. All right, what else do you want to talk about? I don't even feel like I can make fun of his Whitey Bulger comparison anymore after that. I don't know why. I just have this feeling that now that we just kind of got called out seriously, because right before this live, I didn't know he actually called us out until you texted me that. So, but now I feel like I can't make fun of his Whitey Bulger thing.
Yeah, you can.
Okay. All right, let's do it.
Yeah,
all right.
do it.
If you guys
is anyone calling us? Has anyone called?
No, we got to tell people to call. We got to tell. Yeah, you have to tell people what to do. Call us. See the number. It's up there. It's right next to me.
Look at that little flaw in order. Look at his little face.
Right there.
978-755-4555.
I just want to make sure I wrote it right. Yeah, I wrote it right. All right, yeah, the phone number's there. Lines are open. Call us. We haven't talked to people in forever. We did a show.
We miss you.
Yeah,
we're sick of talking to each other.
Last Monday did not count. Like that, we talked to one person. I think. No, we didn't talk to anybody.
We didn't talk to anybody. Technical issues.
Right. We did a live like recently or something. I think it was like last week or something. We talked to like one person. We need to get back to the people. That's what we were born to do. So we need to get back to
the people's choice, Dave.
Right. So that's that. All right. You want to play this Kevin Weeks thing while these phone lines
queue
up here?
Yeah, just do it right. Do it just because it's funny.
All right. It's ridiculous.
So this is another video, a little background on myself, help some of you understand why I feel so strongly about the Karen Reed case, how I view it, and maybe that will also help you reach conclusions about it, maybe just look at it differently. So something totally unrelated to the case, but so several years, almost 5 years.
Oh, people are saying it's Jay Megan who lives in the projects. That's what they said in the chat. Who cares? What does that matter? Is that he was like calling her out for living in the projects?
Well, no, he wasn't. No, well, he said there's a nut who lives in the projects who just reports anything. And I mean, it was ballsy. I was like, I almost said something back in my video back to be like, who the fuck are you? But then I remembered that's not my battle. I don't need to fight for the, like, you know, and if she does live in the projects, boo. Okay. That's the best, you know, like, well, not the best, but like, you know, there was, I don't know, that's not anything that you need to be like, if she's told people about it, who the fuck does he think he is?
By the way, it's
than
totally,
anybody.
These people who act like this isn't happening on both sides are fucking crazy. Like that's the other side of it. It's fucking nuts. It's like we keep talking about the same fucking thing over and over again. Part of my language is that.
I know, me too. Sorry.
At the end of the day, we saw something in the trial that I know for a fact other people saw and heard. Right? Like I know for a fact that 12 people saw and heard what I saw and heard. Because intent never even came into their mind in that trial, right? So that's first and foremost. But immediately after the trial and after the mistrial was declared, we had all the people on the other side start telling us again, like, quote, what really happened or what they think really happened. Well, last time I checked, none of you people, just like me and Nurse Kim and Jay Megan from the projects, we
Facts matter journalism.
We don't really know, but the thing is, like, we're not just like throwing out things from our gut. We have to go. Well, we are throwing out things from our gut, but we have to base our opinion on whether or not somebody is guilty or innocent by what the Commonwealth of Massachusetts tries to tell us happened. And we know for a fact what the Commonwealth tried to tell us happened, and we didn't buy it, and neither did 12 jurors for the most part, right? The manslaughter thing is something else. And we have our reasonings as to why we think that happened. But we know for a fact that the Commonwealth of Massachusetts did not prove that she intended to harm her boyfriend in any capacity. Right?
Noted.
And after that happened, for some reason, John DePetro is only giving the people on the defense shit for like talking about things that may or may have happened and all that stuff, when the people who were supporting the prosecution, just like him, are doing the exact same thing.
Correct.
They're talking about like the people on the prosecution side, like they don't believe the flying 30 feet in the air thing either.
Yeah.
But they're just coming out on the internet and saying their theories of what they think happened, but they're not taking shit for it.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, no one just goes down anyone else's throats. And I think honestly though, Dave, like you have the most, you have the most pull and the most humans. So like people will start coming for you because you have said that after seeing Crash Daddies and after realizing, right, after your recognition that you can't deny the science, you can't deny the physics, and after you watched an entire trial, you were more middle of the road and more 100%, in my humble opinion, like you leaned a little bit, but then you would go back and forth.
Oh,
and
I could go. I went with the wind, and
went with the wind, babe.
I still could. Like that's first of all, that's my nature.
No, you fucking couldn't.
Well,
I wouldn't let you.
No, but I mean, like mistakes happen, right? Like things happen, and I know guys like Kevin Lenahan are out here arguing that ARCA was not provided all the information that they needed, right, to make an informed decision. I disagree with that. I think they had enough. Like, I think they're brilliant. They're smart. If they tell me that the injuries are not consistent with being hit by a vehicle, I'm just going to believe it. And I don't think they need any other information, to be honest with you.
I'm not gonna beat this home and beat this over your head, but Kevin Linehan should not have a platform. Why? Because he is.
Don't get angry at me. Why are you so angry at me?
Delulu.
We got callers on hold, by the way. Don't get angry. I don't want to disrupt.
Well, no. Well, what I'm just trying to say is that when he's saying that ARCA didn't have all the information, he's talking about the Toyota tech stream. And I hate to beat a dead horse, but when Trooper Paul requested the Toyota Tech Stream was a year later, in February of 2023, babes. So how in the Christ, after Karen was not only charged, arrested, and arraigned for the death of Officer John O'Keefe on February 1st and February 2nd of 2022, a year later, I don't give a fuck, I don't give a shit what they provided to them, because it had nothing to do with who they charged and who they arrested and who they indicted on this case. Nothing.
Wow. I don't even want to argue back. I don't want to argue back. I don't. Can I just take a phone call?
You may.
I had something to say, but I'm scared now. So
No, say it. No, say it.
Nope. 774.
Hello, it's Jenna, Nurse Kim. I am forever stalking you online. Love you guys.
Hi, Jenna. Love you too.
When do you think Aunt Bev is going to come back with a decision? Realistically, when do you think this is going to happen?
I don't think anybody knows the answer to that question. I don't think she's in any rush to bring anything home here. That's just my gut. I don't know.
And
I think that the longer. Go ahead, Jenna. Hello?
She's waiting for you, I think.
Oh, okay. I just
think I lost you guys now.
Oh, she lost service. Yeah, go ahead. Kim, you go. She lost service.
Okay. No, I just was saying that, like, I listened to Mr. Betterow, my friend, attorney Mark Betterow, and he said that the longer it takes is, like, kind of, like, granted, she might come back with a big goose egg, but in the long and short of it is that we want her to take more time, guys, right? Like, we want her to continue to look into it, because this may mean, in my brain, that she's not just denying it right out the gate. If we had gotten something this week or even by Friday, I would have been like, oh, that was denied early. Right. But I think that she's really, really methodically looking through, because it'll be a pain in her ass if she's the judge who didn't do the right thing and then it's overturned in an appellate court. She doesn't want that on her, So I think that her just taking the time is good.
100%. All right, 585. This feels good. We're bringing back the people. This feels good. This feels right.
Hey, y'all. It's Christy.
Hello, Christy.
And what I am calling to ask, hi, Dave. Hi, Kim. I love you, love you, love you.
We love you.
I stumbled across somebody called The Truth Revealed. Have you all looked at anything that he has done?
I have not. I've seen some. I got to watch it. I've seen a lot of pictures and thumbnails of his content. I want to see this.
He did a deep dive into the testimony that Higgins did on the stand. He broke down his language, how he spoke, and how he moved his hands. He could see when he was being truthful by baseline questions and how he answered them. And then he also went through certain parts where Lally already knew the answers to the questions that he was going to ask him and knew that he was going to lie, but he softballed it to him. It's something that it's in two parts. You got to go. I'm scrolling through it right now trying to find it, because he went through everyone. He goes through everyone, and I've subscribed to it. It's called The Truth Revealed, and I'm
it's a guy, right?
He's got a bunch.
Yeah, it's a guy, right?
Pardon me?
It's a guy, right?
He's former FBI.
Right. Yeah.
I didn't know that he was former FBI.
I watched something he did early on after the Jen McCabe testimony, and he was fantastic. So I want to see this Higgins one.
Yep. Yeah. Former FBI, and he went through the entire thing.
Okay.
It was two parts, and I just went ahead, looked at it, and it says the lie revealed, Higgins' role in O'Keefe's death. He put them both up 2 weeks ago. It says fear at Waterfall Bar. Brian Higgins' lies revealed.
All right, we're going to watch it. And not only, I'm going to guarantee that he's going to be a guest on one of our TikTok lives. I'm going to lock him in right now. We're going to watch it.
I hope
and
so.
I'm going to get him on as a guest.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I've tried to get other creators to watch it. I don't know if they have, but I also think they might be a little fearful of making videos about it because I think this goes really, really deep.
The whole, oh, you mean the entire, the entire case, you mean?
Uh-huh.
Oh.
I think what this guy's revealing is he's revealing a lot.
Yeah.
That if you start putting it out there, that it's really going to scare some people.
Right. Let's get
They're going to start, I mean,
we got to get this guy.
Especially with the creators.
Yeah, we got to get this guy on.
Yeah.
Like, former FBI guys know, I think that,
Yes.
you know, we hear a lot of this stuff that the reason the FBI hasn't like zoomed in and saved Karen, quote unquote. And we hear a lot of people being like, oh, this is bigger than you think. And kind of some people, some of the detractors on the internet are like, yeah, okay, we'll keep waiting. You're full of shit.
Gosh.
You're full of shit. I think a guy like him would have that conversation with us and make people realize like, no, you don't understand. Like, this could involve cases from 15 years ago that you had no idea occurred. You have no idea, you know?
I totally
he took
agree.
this to 8 parts.
Yeah.
I only saw the 2, and then I got busy. I had to work. But he has taken this to 8 parts. The last one was 3 days ago.
Right.
Holy
And they're about 40 minutes each. So he went right down the rabbit hole.
Right. We're going to find him. All right, Christy.
For Brian Higgins.
I'm going to personally track him down and lock him in.
Maybe
as a
we could
guest.
have him on YouTube.
Yeah, we'll get him on. We'll get him on. All right, Christy,
So
thank you for the recommendation. We're going to do it. We're going to watch it.
You're welcome, honey.
All right. You are the
Truth
best.
revealed. So there you go.
Does she even like us, or does she just want to plug that guy? What do you think? I think she just like wants to plug that guy.
She loves all of us.
That's nice of her. All right,
I'm going
716.
to watch.
I'm definitely watching that one.
Hi, yes, this is the appliance company. I'm calling about a broken dishwasher.
This has to be Meg's. There's no
Meg's.
way it's anybody else. Yeah. Oh my God, Megs, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong with my dishwasher, Megs?
Manning wrong.
Yeah.
Put it in rice.
Right. Put it in rice. That's a good idea. Oh God, what's going on, Megs?
Okay, so I wanted to comment. It was a video you posted on your story, and John had posted it. And basically, he was saying that he thinks that Karen Reed is guilty because I guess Brian Albert doesn't give killer vibes.
Right.
Like, am I listening to that right? Like, for me personally, a professional eyeball reader, like, do it for a living. He certainly gives those vibes to me. So I think his vibe meter is off. And so just to say, like, oh, he doesn't give killer vibes because I looked at this other guy in the eye and he was a killer and he gave me killer vibes.
Right.
Like, I don't know. I think that's absolutely outlandish and crazy.
But also, here the flip side of it is nobody is accusing Brian Albert of deliberately murdering Boston police officer John O'Keefe. So nobody is calling any witness in this case like a
Except Karen Reed. Except Karen Reed.
Except for Karen Reed. But by the way, 12 people have already said she's not
Exactly,
did not intended. So
David.
Her eyes, I know I'm on one of my, her eyes should not look like that to you either, Mr. DePetro.
But they do, and
But
he's
they do,
very
apparently.
he had that in one of his 9 videos today that Karen has the killer eyes.
Right, but we know for a fact that 12 people do not agree with you, and that's the system whether you like it or not. So it's like, so yeah, I mean, that video was it was insane. I mean, he looks like a person. I don't know about the eyes. I mean, we're just talking about eyes of fucking him or Jennifer McCabe or whatever. It's just kind of crazy. But if you look at
eyes matter. Eyes matter. Eyes absolutely matter.
You do your eyes things. I'm just going to talk about body language and fucking jacked up muscles and looking scary. Brian Albert looks like a scary mother effer. Like, I don't care about the eyes. I just mean everything else.
Jen's eyes scare me. Jen's eyes had scared me. Jennifer McCabe, I look into those ones and I see like it's just, they're so dark and vacant that it just makes me a little bit scared.
Right.
Just saying.
All right, that's all I had. Thank you, guys.
All right, Megs.
All right, love your face,
that's a good point.
Megs.
No, she's right. Well, we didn't end up playing the entire John DePetro audio, which is fine because it's nonsense talk. But that is like one of the most ridiculous things. It's just whether or not, first of all, intent has never come into this whatsoever. So that's first and foremost. And second of all, like, I would say a guy like Brian Albert, who is trained to deal with some of the most intense situations you could possibly imagine, especially in the city of Boston. Like
Boston's finest.
You're right. Like
Fugitive.
Right.
On the Wahlberg, the Wahlberg brothers produced a show about him on Boston's Finest for 2 seasons.
Right.
And he did 30 years. Of course he looks like a stone cold mofo, right? Like that
100%.
he's coming for you. And I'm not saying, when I say that a Jennifer McCabe has vacant eyes, I'm not saying that she looks like a killer to me at all. I'm just saying you ever seen a bitch and said, that's a crazy bitch?
That's a crazy bitch. Right. 100%. But that's why he just does crazy videos. I don't even know. It's just, but that's the same thing. Like with the Sandra Birchmore case, we got so like irate about it because they never even considered in that investigation homicide whatsoever. Yeah. And the person who allegedly, got Sandra Birchmore pregnant is strategically trained from the military, like incapacitating Sandra Birchmore alone that night in that apartment would not have been a challenge for the individual who was in that apartment with her. Like and they never even considered it. He was, he had enough training from the military. That would have been easy work for him. Let's put it that way. Like it's just
well, of
easy.
course it would have. Of course it would have. But I also, though, Dave, and this is where we don't like to go down a rabbit hole, guys, but sometimes you friggin' gotta, okay? And love me and listen to me and just hear me out, right? I kind of blame the medical examiner's office for Sandra more than I blame the covering up of either Farwell's military experience, the cops that came in afterwards, for that ME to not ask questions and to know that she was 12 weeks pregnant. And just because they said she sat next to a closet and her hyoid bone being cracked and not saying, like, when that comes in a DV typical situation, because it's via strangulation, it's not something that happens in a self takeout event. Okay. Right. So those are things where I have to say the corruption runs like deeper. And I don't like to say that because then it sounds like I'm a lunatic, but how is it that the ME didn't even go there?
Corruption or laziness, right? Like overworked, told by police that when they walked in, it was a clear suicide, no signs of struggle whatsoever, nothing, and they just rule it, suicide because they're overworked.
You can't be lazy when you're a medical examiner and you have specific findings. Specific findings 100%. Equals specific outcomes. 100%. And here's the thing, is that it's not just me saying I'm investigating in human error. This was, in my humble opinion, maybe the medical examiner just pushed it through because they were like, no one else is, no one's going to say anything. I don't know.
Hold on. Somebody wanted to join. Hello. We're talking about the Karen Reed case. Do you have any any thoughts on it? This? What? No,
Brian Albert fought him.
Brian Albert? You're saying Brian Albert did this? No. We're not speculating. We're not going to do that. Hold on one second.
Thank you so much.
Hold on. Now I don't know how to boot her though.
I've never done this before.
Shit, that was a bad call by me. Now I don't know how to boot her. Hold on. 1 second. Can you give me a second? 1 second. No, it's Karen Reed. It's Karen Reed.
I really appreciate you joining us today, Cedra.
Hold on. I don't know how to. Let me do the power thing. Nope, that's to get off the stream.
You like dogs? This is Chloe.
Guests. Shit, I think if I boot it, now I'm going to boot you, maybe.
That's okay. Boot me. I'll come back.
No, I don't want to do that. Hold on. Cedra, any chance you can leave?
No.
Any chance you can log off?
No.
No. We are not interested. We're not interested.
Dave, you're on a PC. You have 19
No, I'm not.
things.
I'm not. I'm on
Dave,
my phone.
I need you. I need you to figure this out.
I'm on my
figure
phone.
it out.
I'm on my phone. I just wanted to do a little joke. I don't know what to do now. All right, hold on. Guests.
I am.
Draw. Can I draw? Start drawing?
Oh my God.
Hold on.
Lord.
Cedra, can you leave? Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
No, when? Cedra, thank you.
No, bye-bye. We don't want to play. Can you, like, go
Bye-bye.
bye-bye? Kim, help me, Kim. Bye-bye.
What do you want me to do?
I don't know. Hold on. I just want to see what she, I just want to see what she does. Hold on one second.
I'm sorry, Cedra.
Yeah,
I think that
Cedra.
we have a language barrier.
Yeah, we're not interested, Cedra. Cedra.
Nosebleed.
Oh my God. Like this song, Cedra? We'll do a dance off.
I'm crying inside. Hear the thunder. Lightning.
Lightning and the thunder.
I don't know, Cedra. All right, Kim, just act like Cedra's not here.
Dave, we gotta go. We've got to hang up and we'll call each other back.
Hold on. No, we got to call.
Dave,
We got to call. Hold on.
I can't do this. I
We
can't
got to
do
call.
I'm so
Cedra, hang on one second.
uncomfortable.
Cedra, 716 is on. 716, what do you got?
It's Meg.
Hey,
I'm
Megs.
trying to help you guys.
Oh, yeah. What can we do, Megs? Do you know what we can do?
Please, God,
Who had
Megs.
Cedra on?
I put Cedra. I put
Who had her
Cedra on.
on? Was it Nurse Ken?
I put Cedra. It was a no-brainer
Oh, you
move.
put her
Megs,
on.
don't call me out. It was a no-brainer move by me to click accept. It was a
No,
no-brainer.
I'm about to call you out. Okay, so go ahead and click on Cedra's box there.
Okay.
You're so lovely.
There should be like a
We really
free,
appreciate you, Cedra.
I see gifts.
I love you guys.
Gifts?
There should be like either 3 dots.
No, I did that. I did that.
When you click on her, when you click on her, like click on her profile, at the top there should be those 3
Who
dots.
is this?
And you should be able to hit disconnect.
What is this?
What are you doing? I don't want to play this game.
Is there another person?
Yes, now there's 4 people on the screen.
What is this?
We don't. We're trying to eliminate this match. We're trying to eliminate this match. We're trying to talk to
These are
Karen
the
Reed case.
Commonwealth supporters.
مين دول؟ الولية اللي هناك اللي فوق
Thanks, I don't know.
ديت
I'm
I'm
اللي
sorry.
declining.
We're
I'm
just trying to
declining.
talk about it.
I'm declining. I don't want
يا
to do this
عم ما
match.
تنجزوا يا عم
I gotta.
Hit on the profile picture.
Nani, what do we do, Nani? Oh, okay, we got that guy's gone. All right, so we still got
Okay.
Cedra.
Help me.
Maybe Cedra just wants to talk.
Click on her profile picture.
Okay, Dave,
All right, click
follow
on her profile
directions.
picture. I'm clicking on her profile picture. Cedra.
There should be 3 dots.
There
I think,
isn't.
at the top.
There isn't. Cedra is like, I don't. did she
She's
leave?
gone. Bye,
Oh,
Cedra.
Cedra, yeah. Cedra just left. She was done. Yeah.
gone?
She wasn't
Are
happy.
Okay,
you
all right, bye, guys.
kidding
All right,
me?
thank you, Megs. I
Thanks,
just want to let that
Megs.
be
We
known.
love you so much.
I just want to let that be
We
known.
love you so much.
She left on her own. We did not ask her to leave. She decided to leave. All right? Cedra. Not Megs, Cedra.
Oh, Cedra just left us?
Yeah, Cedra left on her own. We didn't force her out. Like we're welcoming to all individuals. Right? We didn't force her out. She left on her own.
Dave,
Yeah.
Dave, what the fuck is the matter with you?
I thought it would be funny
You
to
think
bring
that's
some random
hilarious
person
when
on.
you don't know how to work?
I just thought it would be funny. I had no idea. You can't kick people off a TikTok live stream. Like what?
Listen to me. Do you know how many lives I've had to end and get back on because of that? And I
Yeah.
do it within 30 seconds
Yeah,
because
not
I
good.
die. We just
Not
had
good.
5 minutes of insanity
I'm
on
gonna be
this
honest with you.
program.
I'm disappointed in you that you couldn't just go along with the live stream as if she
I
wasn't there.
danced. What are you talking
I
about?
wanted you to
asked her if
dance.
she
Like I wanted you to
Chloe.
dance a little
You
bit more.
did nothing.
You weren't a great dancer. You weren't a great dancer. All right, hold on. We got another phone call. 269. 269. It's probably Cedra from wherever, from whatever.
It's Cedra.
269.
Okay, I'm sorry. You could not start that way because I called because I am blacked out from that situation.
That was
That was
wild.
the best live I think we've had yet. That was hilarious. And I couldn't help myself but to call in now because of that. However, something that you guys said before, Dave,
Yep.
that you guys were avoiding a little discussion further about it. May I ask, are you, and I say seriously, that is not to sound condescending at all because it's not meant that way, but are you seriously still up to be persuaded by the Commonwealth here?
No.
Like, could they, if this goes to, if we actually in fact do have another trial,
No,
could you be convinced that
no.
there is a plausible...
Based off of what they told me in trial 1, I could not be convinced. My thought or what I was alluding to was the fact that mistakes happen or information could have been withheld or information wasn't had. I'm not going to, like, if somebody gave me some type of compelling information that was like an absolute lock, and there was nothing, it was 100% truthful, I would obviously sway, I would change my mind. I think we all would in that case. But there's nothing that they said or did in a current report or at trial that could sway me.
Okay. I was curious. I don't watch anyone's live but YouTube. I'm not, I don't like the TikTok live thing, but I love watching YouTube, and you guys have made me change my ways.
No,
and so I was like, do you not tell me after all these conversations?
Do you not agree with that though? Like, if let's just say for some reason, some piece of information about Karen that night or something comes out of the woodwork, like, I mean, I don't know what that information would be per se. Like, I don't think it's coming, to be completely honest with you, but I would never shy away from it. If do you get what I'm saying? Kind of. That's all. I don't. It's not. It's not changing. It's not changing.
Of course.
Yeah. But what I heard
Facts
at trial.
matter. Journalism.
Facts matter. And I've said it on every freaking live we've done. Is that at the end of the day, to me, it always came down to John O'Keefe and the vehicle. And what I heard from the state was not believable. And what I heard from the ARCA reconstructionist was very, very believable. So that's just, to me,
100%.
case closed. Case closed. That's it. I don't need the other cover-up stuff.
Okay.
But it's fun and sexy to talk about. But it's that is the premise of the case to me.
Okay. I'm in my third year of law school, so I approached this whole thing looking at it kind of academically, like trying to find the plausibility in the narrative, and I've just never found anything that I felt created a linear argument for them that made any plausible sense given the facts and evidence. And so and I'm trying to extend that benefit of the doubt that, like, not everyone is corrupt and not everyone's trying to cover everything up. And obviously the evidence in this case has shown, even if you try to, like, you'd extend that benefit of the doubt, that there's so much evidence that was the case that there's, it kind of disrupts that.
There's no way around it. You have to, if you don't believe that the injuries were caused by a vehicle, you have to look elsewhere. Right. And so when you look elsewhere, you're seeing 10 people doing some of the shadiest shit I've ever seen people utter in a courtroom in my life. Right. So what do they expect us to do on the internet? Like, we're going to start to speculate when you're tossing phones and deleting text messages and may or may not be, like, randomly, like, you're the anomaly on the internet who Google searched something, but for some reason it was only because a tab was open and was closed. Like, you're the only person that's happened to. It's just all strange and crazy. So, of course, we're going to start talking like cover-ups and conspiracies there.
Yes, and that was the point I was going to make. I was like, where the facts lead us to no logical conclusion, it's natural to say, well, he did die, and things happen. There are unknowns, so there had to be something, right? And no one is producing evidence of that, of a logical, plausible alternative other than the defense. And
right.
I can't say that I'm fully bought in on that, but the evidence they provided seemed to be more logically connected.
Right. Like, where else? We have nothing else to look. Like, then we're just going off of our gut feeling. Yeah. And isn't that what John DePetro's saying? Like, the defense is going to all of a sudden abandon the third-party culprit theory, and now they're going to basically say that he may have been hit by a plow. Like, now we're just speculating. We have never heard anybody allude to the injuries being caused by a plow. Like, it never came up, obviously. Go ahead, Kim. Sorry.
No, I just was wondering, Lovey, where are you from? What I didn't catch your name, and I love that you are in law school, and I want to pick your brain.
Yeah, I am from Michigan. My name is Terrence, and I'm currently in law school in Michigan. And yeah, if you have a question, feel free to. Yeah,
did you tell me your name, or do you not want to say your name? You don't have to.
What are you getting at?
My name is Terrence.
What are you doing over there, Kim?
Oh no, because I wanted to be friend him or something.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
I feel like you're interrogating him.
Weird.
Like,
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. That was weird.
I welcome this, Dave.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
I welcome that.
I made it weird.
Tim, we are friends from out of town.
Thank you, Lovey.
Okay. I want you to have my name for sure.
Okay, great. So again, wicked sorry for jumping into your personal space, but I love the law. If you know me, we're best friends from out of town, so you know the law. So being in your third year of law school, what do you feel about the defense coming in for the next trial? Do you think that there is going to be a lot of use of the first trial testimony in order to either push the witnesses that they have to recall, because if there is something that is dismissed, if counts 1 and 3 get dismissed, right, then it would only be manslaughter. So we'd get rid of Aruba, we'd get rid of a lot of other things. But do you think it would behoove the defense, Alan Jackson and David Yannetti, to have all of the testimony, not only from the grand juries, but now taking testimony from trial 1 in order to rip apart their story if they try to fuck around and create a new one moving forward?
Yes, I do think it would. And so, for context, I did criminal defense all summer as my externship and was practicing in Michigan. You can as a law student under another lawyer. And I think it would behoove them not to bring it in, because I think that the way that everything is played out, that the witnesses who have testified in the first trial, I think that because of, if I extend the belief that there's potentially other things that occurred that people are not saying that might be maybe not outright corrupt, or as we said, I don't think anyone maybe intended to, but I think something happened that obviously resulted in Officer John O'Keefe's death, that I think that the way things have escalated and evolved, that they're human. They're likely to slip up, say something, word it differently that allows for them to question it further, to dig into it. Obviously, we're talking about a lot of people who are trained police officers, so I don't expect that it's going to be as probable as it would be for a regular witness, because they are trained not to do that. But there are people who are not. Jennifer McCabe, maybe, as you said, the vacancy behind the eyes, she seems very rigid. I don't think that she will break, but I think that they have an opportunity to break down that testimony by bringing in the first trials. Yes, absolutely. And I can't see a plausible reason why they wouldn't.
I love that. And can I ask you also, Lovey, when was for you, just as somebody who, like you said, you were doing your criminal defense, which I think is incredible for your summer, like, where did this case for you, as somebody who's going into law, like, where did you feel the initial cracks were that made you think, oh my gosh, maybe Karen is not guilty, or however you may feel?
I think that the combination of her phone connecting to the Wi-Fi, the time there, the implausibility of him being on the lawn for the amount of hours that he was, when we know that all of the people in that house then left. And I'm from Michigan. We get a lot of snow as well. So I think that a man of Officer John O'Keefe's size, who had, if he had been tossed 30 feet by being hit by a car and lost, what was it? I don't want to misspeak. Was it 3 or multiple pints of blood? Rather, that you would not see that. Even drunk leaving that party, I would have noticed something like that. So it just seems that was a huge gray area for me. I was like, can anyone buy that all of those people saw nothing? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. And that was where I started to really harshly question it. And I think that the inconsistent timelines of her presence there and her connecting to the Wi-Fi at John's house really blew up any logical, as I was alluding to earlier, a logical timeline of events that connect without reasonable doubt behind it.
Right.
I love that.
But obviously the crash daddy, of course, by the end, I was like, oh no, I'm definitely right. Because I never bought that. I just didn't buy the physics of a man his size being hit at that speed going 30 feet. I couldn't understand it, and I'm not even a physicist.
Right.
But the physics being laid out for me only affirms what I was questioning before they even introduced that.
Right.
I love it. And mine was always the injuries, right? Because like you're saying, with Officer O'Keefe, the size of him, and then his lack of bruising, his lack of breaks to any of his lower or upper extremities.
Nothing on the lower body whatsoever.
Exactly. And in addition, like, guys, if we really think about this, I mean, we could go on just medically for days. We won't. But like the lack of frostbite. Mm-hmm. Like things that have never, ever, and never will make sense medically, physics, science-wise. Like, this is where the question, I know, bubbled within myself. So thank you so much, love. I really appreciate you.
Oh, no, absolutely. Thanks for having me on. Thanks for doing this. I mean, to pin up the conversation, your medical analysis of it is when I started watching you guys on TikTok, and that was part of what I was pursuing as I was watching the case and getting into it and having these questions about the actual instance of the accident and his body and the death and all of the medical facts around it. Your analysis of it was what was like, I'm drawn in now. I'm really drawn in, and you guys have had me up since. So thanks for keeping up on this. I know you both have day jobs. So I think that all of us who care about Officer John O'Keefe, care about justice being served, but not incarcerating or finding guilty someone who did not commit a crime, especially when that crime is alleged to be against their loved one. I'm just happy that you guys will continue to stay on it.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Thank you very much. That was a great call.
You're our legal analyst now, babe.
Great call. Yeah, I know. The more I think about it, it's very hard to vocalize because I do sympathize is the wrong word, but like I understand still, and I know you give me shit on this. I understand still the idea that like, how could all these people be involved? But the reality is like, I fundamentally believe in the ARCA guys that the vehicle didn't cause the injuries. And I fundamentally believe that if the only other thing that has not been kind of like quote unquote brought to the table, like we were just alluding to, was a plow hitting him when he got out of the car or something like that, or he stayed outside, the injuries would have been possibly worse if a plow hit him. I would assume, right? I would assume in the lower body. So clearly you would obviously rule out the plow angle because it would be probably worse. The only thing you can fucking do is go inside of the house. And also, the only thing you can do is start to speculate on some of the witnesses that everyone's saying you shouldn't, because why the fuck would they protect Brian Higgins? He's not family. Who gives a shit about Brian Higgins if something happened outside? And you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
we've had this argument before. Like if they got into the argument in the driveway or whatever, and Brian Higgins did the whole thing, and then he asked.
I always thought he went in the backyard. Like that was what I always was like. I would always say like he went in the backyard because remember there was the whole big thing about when they got home. They really harped both Coco and Brian about when they got home. They went upstairs, grabbed Chloe. Chloe was in the room. Remember, Chloe doesn't like other humans. She didn't even like Sarah Levinson and Julie Nagel. So Brian held her collar the whole way and brought her outside to go do her business. So when Chloe's out doing her business, I thought that Karen and John were sitting in the front. They're parked right in front of 34 Fairview. John sees on Karen's text message, the text message from Higgins, and Brian and John snapped because Higgins, Big Neck Daddy Higgins, had sent him the text. Yeah, he said, "Oh, let's fucking go." Right. And he went in through the backyard. Higgins was taking a leak or doing some shit, and then they walked up to each other. It was 7 minutes. Both of them got one smash in, and then he just hit his head on a rock. That was always if something happened. And then Chloe came because she said, "I don't know either one of these mofos," and she was trying to protect the house.
So two people, the user and a bunch of numbers. Says because he's an ATF agent, they are scared of him. And a couple of people agreed with that person. No fucking way is Brian Albert scared of his friend, the ATF agent. If he hurt somebody on his lawn and it was a fellow Boston police officer, Brian Higgins is getting thrown to the fucking wolves.
He is.
Like Brian Albert would have beat the shit out of him that night.
Brian Albert would literally, guys, no word of a lie. Not Brian Albert, Big Neck Daddy Higgins, remember, babes, got on the stand and told us that even Chief Kenny Berkowitz was scared of Brian Albert. Right. Brian Albert had gotten to other physical altercations with, hey, Big Neck Daddy Higgins, with other, what's happening? Oh, okay, sorry, I gotta do a puzzle. Oh, the puzzle. He had gotten into physical altercations with his other buddies. Oh, crap, I screwed up. Sorry, guys, bear with me. She's not good at puzzles.
Nothing to do with Chloe either. Call in, user Nick5. Call in. She this person, he or she thinks Karen's guilty. Call in. Let's have the conversation.
Yeah, call us. Yeah, call us, friend.
Deal. We just disagree. That's all. But yeah, I just 1,000,000% think that only a logical person, after all is said and done at this point, has to start asking questions about all those individuals in the house. Like whether even just a basic person watching this case has to start asking those questions, even outside of all the outlandish moves. All the outlandish moves they make, because it just does not make sense that Brian Albert would protect Brian Higgins after Brian Higgins, beat the shit out of somebody in a major accident happened. It just doesn't like make sense to me whatsoever.
Yeah, there had to be there had to be another like involvement of something. But again, we typically, guys, as much as, we talk all the shit, right? We we come close to all the shit.
We don't
usually like go into super speculative about like what happened. Cause again, guys, babes, we weren't there. It was Mass State Police who was supposed to investigate this,
Right.
supposed to not just lock in. The same day, they didn't get the case until the afternoon, Mass State Police, right, of Officer John O'Keefe. And by that evening at 10 o'clock, Trooper Proctor is in his living room texting his 9 friends from high school that Karen's screwed, and she did it. She waffled John O'Keefe the same day, babes. Like that there was no investigation. It was always going to be Karen's taking the fall, in my opinion.
Right. Yep. Karen or Lucky Lawford, but they went away from that very quickly, it seems.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know. I want this person to call. Call in there, Nick5. User Nick5. Call in.
Come on, Nick, give us a buzz. We don't bite.
I thought somebody was saying it was Sean McDonough in the chat. It's not. Somebody was saying that Brian Albert coming out through punches and Higgins pulled Chloe off Jay O'Keefe. Sean M. sources. I remember Sean saying that, but I mean, I don't know.
Listen, all I know is that Mr. McDonough, okay, hello, teammate, Mr. McDonough is deep in the shits. And I also think that Mr. Murphy is also, he knows a lot. And I didn't even think, what did he said? He said something while we were on the calling all beings that I hadn't heard in a long time. And he's bringing it back up, babes. Mm-hmm. So he was talking about that there was some footage. Now, this is just, guys, allegedly. He was stating that there is some video of a Ford Edge in front of 34 Fairview between 3 and 5 a.m. That's not Karen Reed's. And if that video ever came out, that would be her actual, like, exoneration.
Who would have the video? Who would have the video?
No idea. I have no idea. I'm not a cop, but that's what Peter Murphy said.
Interesting. I like him. Decorated, all that stuff. He also said the Sandra Birchmore thing, but I kind of think like he just didn't want to correct people. But I think you know what I mean with so I'm a little skeptical of that one. A little skeptical. We do have a call.
Oh yeah, I'm just saying.
We do have a call. 413.
John.
Hey, how are you guys?
Hello.
I love you.
Can you hear me?
We gotcha.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Awesome. This is great. My name's Kirsten. I live in Greenfield, Massachusetts, which is Western Mass.
Oh yes.
And I do watch you guys all the time.
Thank you so much.
And I honestly, Kim, I love you, and I also pretty much disagree with you, but I love you.
Yeah.
I come at this from a little bit more of a. I mean, my husband and I listen to all kinds of true crime podcasts, and like if we're gonna go to Maine, we will literally throw on a true crime podcast and listen to it all the way up. And like, so we got into this, like, as it started to blow up. I've known of Turtle Boy, who sort of started to blow all of this up last summer, I feel like, right? Am I wrong?
Yep.
Like,
that's about right.
You're right.
Last summer-ish.
Yep.
Yeah. And I think he's kind of a scumbag and a misogynist. And I come at that from,
well, you're welcome.
Again,
you're welcome for putting him in jail. You're welcome. Go on. Sorry.
Yeah. But anyway, where I'm going with this is so we listened to stuff and then we talked to stuff, my husband and I, and where we were coming at it was we never thought Murder 2 made sense. Like, what the hell was the Commonwealth thinking of, right? Like, why would the Murder 2 charge? Because there is nothing, even before the trial, like, it made no sense to me. But what did make sense to me is, and then because of the trial and the way everything went down, and we learned about how many vodka drinks that she was drinking, and like, I think she's a functional alcoholic, and I'm not saying that in any kind of judgmental way. Like, if you spot it, you got it a little bit, you know? Mm-hmm. So I think that it's very, and especially with vodka, sometimes you can like turn on a dime, right? Like you can go from 0 to 60, which is what my husband says, real quick, right? So I think it's plausible that she never meant to hit him. She flipped it in reverse. I live in Western Mass. It can't be that different than a snowstorm in Canton. Had no idea that she hit him. She was pissed. She was leaving him there. Go in then. Mikey, my husband, was like, you know what? She didn't want to go in and hang out with some 16-year-old, like, or 21-year-old.
21, yeah.
Birthday party, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, yeah, like, kind of like, oh, you want to go in and hang out with a bunch of kids? What the fuck?
Right.
Or, you know, spinning stuff, right? So what I think it's very plausible. I also will agree that I watched the trial and tried to, be a juror. I've had jury duty twice. Once I actually had to sit, on the jury. But what I'm saying is, I think that it's possible that she did it. I think the crash studies did an amazing job of saying, well, we're not so sure. But part of me is like, why didn't the Commonwealth have any kind of visual representation of what they think actually happened to back up this guy, to be like, okay, here's how we think this could have happened. I was expecting that and it never happened. So if I was on that jury, even though I think it's totally plausible, I probably would have said, nah, probably you haven't proven your case. So my gut tells me she accidentally hit him.
Okay, so two things.
Sorry,
it's not
so much.
No. That's totally. First of all, your opinion is totally fair. So if anybody believes that, call in. We can have these conversations.
Of course, we can.
I was 1,000,000% with you. I said this before the trial, before I heard all this stuff. I said, what's more likely, a drunken accident that happens, every night in America, 20 times over or whatever, or a massive cover-up like that? What would you? Then I heard the trial. So I just want to bring up 2 points to you. One is a minor, one is a very minor one, which is that, and I think you kind of answered it with your reasoning to some extent, is one, a lot of the people who took the witness stand said that she did not appear drunk and, out of it at the bar whatsoever. I'm assuming your answer back to me will be, well, vodka's crazy. Like with vodka, you can just snap into it very quickly.
Or just like when you have a tolerance.
Right. So we're kind of like that one. I'm just saying that people took the stand and said, and it's important people, Jennifer McCabe.
Oh, totally, and that they were
and paramedics 5 hours later, that nobody ever questioned her ETOH or her alcohol intake. The only thing, just while we're on that, Dave, I'm sorry to jump in. You hit on the second point right afterwards.
No, go.
I wanted to say that the only thing I hear you, Lovey, and thank you so much for calling, because it's important that we listen and that we're able to talk and explain ourselves to each other. You explain yourself to me without screaming at me and calling me curse words, and I will do the same to you because I love your faces.
You're freaking awesome.
Oh, and you are too. And I just wanted to say, the only thing is from her medical perspective, Lovey, that her medical history that is clearly documented with her, not only her gastrointestinal, she also had a colostomy bag at a time recent prior to when this occurred. And then her intestines and her okay, so we have our large intestines, small intestines. She had an ileostomy. And what I want to say with that is that her ability to break down alcohol in her body, in my opinion, even if she had a tolerance of a 300-pound man that was an alcoholic daily drinker, that she would have been blacked out because of her absorption, okay? Because of her ability to absorb in her GI tract. So for me, when they said the amount of drinks, I don't give a shit, because yes, you saw her walk up and do whatever. I watched the bitch, and she was the least, in my humble opinion. Now that I've seen some other videos of the boys walking out of the bar, I'm like, ooh, got a little wobbly pops going on here. And I could see a little, see a little, not anything that was, super concerning to me. I'm a grown up, but just seeing her walk out, her gait, her interactions and everything. I want to just say that I don't think that she drank as much as the Commonwealth has tried to say that she drank, in my opinion.
It could pin on her based on the receipts, literal receipts. I think is where that's coming from, right?
Right, but we don't know if she passed drinks around. I mean, she's buying dinner for everybody in Aruba. I gotta imagine she's
What my husband says is we don't know how many drinks she had before she got there. Either.
That's true too.
Just saying. If you're gonna order that many drinks at a bar, regardless, we don't know how many she had pre-gaming, and again, he's not a hater either. He's also holy shit, how the hell did the Commonwealth? Oh, so that was my point. This is what I wanted to throw at you guys. Was the murder too, and where the fuck did that come from? Sorry, am I allowed to?
No, of course, yeah.
Yeah, swearing. You never know. TikTok's weird. murder two. So here's what my husband said, and I was like, you know what, babe, I think you might be right. Is there was pressure and like overthinking on the Commonwealth's part that this is a wealthy white girl who is going to get a slap on the wrist for killing her Boston police officer husband. And they were fearing the accusation of taking it easy on her by like a vehicular manslaughter or all the various lower charges that she could have just been kept at, and that they trumped it up for fear that they were going to be judged. You know what I mean? They were trying to play chess when maybe they only had a checker's team.
Not illogical, first of all. I'm thinking through that because that's an interesting one. Yeah.
And I mean, I was like, you know what, babe? Because I'd be like, why
would they do that?
The murder too. It just makes no sense.
Right.
It makes no sense. So again, I can't take credit. That's my husband Mike's theory, but it was the one that convinced me. I was like, you know what, babe? I think you're right. They were like overthinking it, and they.
Well, I think that they had, but Lally said that he had them by the balls. He thought that those that the voicemails showed intention. That's what they thought. Per court filing.
That can't be rational. Like that can't be what he thought. I know he said I know he said it, but that can't be what he thought. Like an angry woman on a voicemail is going to lead him to think that she would.
I mean that's white girl wasted, having too many vodkas and being annoyed at your man.
Well, there is a text. There is a text.
To me, you know.
Remember the text, and I don't want to get in the weeds of this. Like, there's some girl who was a friend of Karen. This is like rarely come up, but the girl who was a friend of Karen's first, then Karen wanted her to go away, basically, and so she turned on Karen. Which, by the way, is everybody who was against Karen. That's who these people are. It's people who randomly turn like they get their back turned on by whether it be Turtle Boy or Karen, and then they flip to Karen is guilty. Mm-hmm. This girl Natalie was Karen's best friend.
Oh, Natalie the German, yeah.
Or whatever. Okay. I don't know the whole history of her, but she was some Karen friend, and she was Karen's intermediary between Karen and Turtle Boy. And supposedly there was there's an actual text on Twitter that I've seen that was like, this is coming from Karen that quote like, I didn't think I hit him that hard. Did you see that text? Turtle Boy is absolutely blocked it.
People have said that to me. And I've blacked out when people have said that to me, because if that text exists, and that changes a lot in my brain. If Karen wrote to Turtle Boy, which it didn't come into court, that would have been able to be admissible. There's no reason. Everybody else's text messages were.
Separate your brain. Sorry to overtalk you.
Yeah, no.
You're a math girl. You know that I'm not overtalking you to be rude.
No.
But it's like we have to like separate in our brains like what's been brought into evidence and like what the jury's hearing, and then the other part, which is like all the other shit that we know or think we know, but we always like take with a grain of salt.
So we just think that girl Natalie, who provided a shit ton of information to Turtle Boy, which blew this thing up, now all of a sudden like she chose to lie in that spot, and both the defense and prosecution agree that text was like a planted lie. It's all strange. It
never came in.
Right. So what's your argument then? Because you seem totally fair. Why?
So my argument,
do you?
I wanted to share the thought about murder too. Like, and especially with all of the stuff that's going on now.
Hold on. One more question. One more question about your other thing. I feel like you're giving credit. You're giving credit to the ARCA guys, but why are you not fully going? Like, why do you not fully believe them that the injuries are not consistent with being hit by a vehicle?
Because I feel like it's possible that he may have, especially with that cocktail glass, I feel like it's possible that this is my own head, right? And I was expecting the state to put this theory forward. I feel like, is it possible that he was like bending down, right? Like for whatever reason, either dropped his phone or, well, no, that was underneath him, but like the cocktail glass bending down, she freaking backed up, hit him on the head, and then he stumbled for 30 feet.
But hold on, let's just go back for a second. If you think something like that, like that's not the case that the Commonwealth tried to tell us happened, right? So like,
I agree. And
okay,
I agree. I think that the Commonwealth didn't like poor
Prove
Paul
their case.
or
He said
Trooper
that.
Paul or whatever the
Trooper Paul, yeah.
deer in headlights, man. I don't buy his shit. Like I don't think that he had it, and I just think that I think it's my gut, like I said,
Right.
but I'm willing to be a juror and go with my gut.
I know, but I wouldn't.
Like,
this is, by the way,
fucking way.
I'm not being disrespectful. I wouldn't like you as a juror because you're not basing your like guilty or not guilty vote, quote unquote vote.
Find her guilty for that idea. I would never find her guilty for that idea.
She said she wouldn't find her guilty.
Okay, so you're saying
and say sorry.
So if you were a part of the jury, she would have been not guilty on all counts on this first trial.
Agreed.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying
She just feels it inside, but she wouldn't have been able to with the evidence.
That's totally fair. Got it.
Yep.
Love it.
Yep.
Thank you.
100%. Yep. I just think, yes. So anyway, thank you guys. This was fun. And yeah, my main reason for the call was about the whole, like, why the hell did the Commonwealth go with murder too? And wanted to share that perspective.
We appreciate it. You were a great
Thank
call.
you, Kirsten.
We appreciate
you guys enjoy your evening. Yeah, for sure. Take it easy, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Great call. I thought she meant that she was saying like she believed it happened and she would have been a guilty vote on manslaughter, but so that's fair. Like you have to base it off the evidence you were presented at trial, the case that the Commonwealth tried to make. If you want to then say like, okay, to her point, I would have voted not guilty based off the Commonwealth, but still in my heart of heart, I believe that accidents I believe that accidents happen, and this is probably what was more likely based on. I can understand where she's coming from. I think a lot of people probably feel that way.
And you know what's so interesting to me? Because listen, I have like guys, all lovies. Are we all not like obsessed with Dr. Kenny Kinsey? He was the man on Murdoch first trial, which this is looking wild, guys. Like because of what's her face, Becky. Becky Hill might end up having Alec Murdaugh have another trial too, but neither here nor there. But Dr. Kinsey was what for me connected the forensics and everything in the Murdaugh trial. However, he has gone on with Brandy Churchwell and he has said, like, he's like, listen, like he doesn't like what the Commonwealth says at all. But when that man says to me, Karen Reed hit her, likely hit him, didn't mean to, didn't do anything, but like, that this was not intentional, should have never been second degree. He said that since jump, but he said that it doesn't, like you can't get him. He would have never found her guilty, but he was like, you just can't get me there with all the other circumstantial and making it the conspiracy, which I have a hard time with because I love him. And I am just like, I'm like, Dr. Kinsey, listen to me. But, he's allowed to have his own opinions and that's just what he believes.
Right. He probably was not dialed into this case. Probably not like.
Oh, he was dialed in. He did all the things he did deep dives with Brandy. Deep dives. Looked at he did a lot.
Yeah. Well, listen.
For free.
Okay. All right. Oh, that's good at least. All right. You want to take this last call and then get out of here?
Let's do it.
All right. 607. We are back with the calls. This feels right. All the other stuff does not feel right.
It feels
calls
so good.
Calls make it right. Calls make it right.
Hey guys.
Hello.
Hi, Lovey.
Hey guys. This is Mallory. I've spoke to you guys 3 times already and I'm pumped. I get excited every time you answer the call. Anyway, I have some things to say about your last caller. She's lovely for being pleasant on the other side. But as far as Karen's alcohol content goes, from my interpretation of the testimonies, she had that one glass and she was getting shots and just pouring them in the glass. Was she downing every shot? Because I thought she was just pouring them into the glass.
No, that's what
she drank the whole glass?
We don't know anything about it, do we?
We don't know anything.
I've seen a lot of internet speculation around that, but we don't really know anything.
No. During the trial, they talk about Lally goes, so she got another drink and she poured it in, and it's like on the video. They talk about it.
Well, there's only one shot that's on the video. She gets the drink and then she goes to get one shot in the shot glass that they have on tape. The rest there's nothing caught on tape of her pouring anything into her drink. And there is the receipt from the bar.
Oh, okay. So maybe I just misinterpreted it wrong. But also, sidebar, I went into a deep dive all weekend on the Natalie thing.
Okay.
Because I'm on this going back to all like Turtle Boys, like previous videos, because I had just started this stuff in April. And Natalie wasn't her best friend. She was just someone that she knew, graduated Bentley with in 1998 or 2001. Karen graduated early. And I have that screenshot of that text you guys are talking about.
Yep.
And she doesn't say, I hit him. Do you want me to read it?
Sure.
Yeah, read it. Yeah, read it, Lovey.
Okay. So because Natalie was basically the intermediary, she was texting Karen for Turtle Boy, you know, on and off or whatever. And this is all public stuff because she went and talked to Tully. They flew to California.
Tully flew on taxpayer dollars to go to California to interview this person. Yep.
Yeah, and it was so dramatic because it doesn't incriminate Karen at all. It just makes her look more innocent. But anyways, so I won't read all of it. It just says, the record, I never believed I hit him. I thought maybe he changed his mind and ran after my car for a ride, and I clipped him and he passed out. One thing I can tell you, I never thought that morning that his friends and a BPD coworker left him in the die like roadkill. Every report that says I hit him is authored by Michael Proctor. I was screaming, could I have hit him? Did I hit him?
Yeah, you're right. That's way back now that you said it the way you did. Yep. It's showing that
right there is showing that she did drop him off and she saw him go in, and then she pulled up and she thought that he changed his mind and was running back to the car. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't even incriminate her at all.
Except clipped him.
Clipped him.
I thought,
and first of all, she's unsure, so she's basically admitting to being like blackout drunk, right?
Maybe I clipped like I'm clipping my nails.
Like she just thought that, I guess I thought maybe he changed his mind and ran after my car for a ride, and I clipped him and he passed out. This was in April 25th.
Maybe I clipped him, but I didn't put it in park and go check on him. You know what I mean? Like, that's weird. Right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't like that. And but again, I don't like that as much as, yes, it doesn't sound great, but it doesn't, I don't know, guys. Like, I don't like that at all.
But also context matters. Like, she could be doing what I've said she was doing on the morning of, which is like, did I hit him? Like she says in this text, did I hit him? Could I have hit him?
Could I have? Yeah.
All those things. Like I would have said every question in the book that morning. It would have came out of my brain. She might have been doing that in the conversation with Natalie.
But why didn't this come up? Why was this text? This is why I think it's all bullshit.
Right.
I think it's all bullshit because if you can pull up Higgy's text, Big Neck Daddy Higgins, if you can pull up, the alleged thread between Colin Albert and Allie McCabe, like, no. If this was real, Natalie the German, that text that is in some way that this would have been a huge revelation for the Commonwealth, they would have gotten it in.
Yeah, why do you think that's the case?
Yeah, that is true.
Why do you think that
Natalie was cuckoo.
Right. And she was around recently. Didn't she come to the court?
She was there on the 9th. You saw her in the blue dress.
She went to the last hearing.
Yep.
She was there wearing a tablecloth.
Doing the deep dive, do you have any thoughts? I mean, it seems like you didn't just based off your response right there, but do you have any thoughts why that wasn't included in the court hearings whatsoever?
I don't.
Yeah.
Because I have no idea. But you know what else? I have something else to say. I'm sorry for taking too long.
Yeah.
So I watched Jennifer McCabe the other day. And you know what's crazy to me is the fact that she made that Google search because she was cold and she was in the back and she was praying. But at the same time, if you look back at the call records, she called Brian at 6:23 too. So what was she praying, talking about period blood in Karen's hand, and then called Brian Albert and then Googled how long it takes to die in the cold? At the same time, she says that she was watching Officer John O'Keefe getting placed in an ambulance, but he was placed in the ambulance at 6:13.
Right.
See, this is okay, Mallory, that's incredible. That is incredible. And we're going to put that in our Nurse Kim, Dave Cullinane, on our 5-point road to acquittal.
That's an exclusive Nurse Kim. You don't need to add me to that.
Oh, whatever. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
But we're going to put that in because I have said, I knew that Officer O'Keefe had already been transported to Good Sam, okay, way before 6:23 and 6:24 when the alleged searches were made. Also, it didn't make sense that everybody was holding hands in the back. Kerry gets in, they're coon by fucking iron. But what I want to say is I did not know and you just like gave me this, Lovey, was that she called Brian. So she called Brian Albert, her brother-in-law, while she is allegedly Karen screaming at her per Jennifer McCabe's account. She told us that Karen, she couldn't move her fingers because she has MS, right? She's freezing, has MS. She was unable to, correctly type it in. But Karen is hysterical, and she's calling Brian, who hadn't even gotten his butt out. Oh, we have a friend.
Assalamu alaikum.
Hello.
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 Sorry, I had to. Caller, I had to. I'm sorry, caller. We're wrapping up, so I dropped the caller. We're wrapping up, so I just figured this is the way to go out. Don't you think?
Assalamu alaikum.
Hey, yes.
Hello. What are you guys up to?
God bless you.
Where'd you go? Oh, they left. Okay, they left on their own too. So I just felt like that was the right way to end it, didn't you? You weren't feeling it. You're not feeling it.
I didn't like that. I don't appreciate it.
I don't know why. You don't like other people just joining in and having a good time with us, or no?
Well, I would if I could communicate effectively. I'd love to talk to anybody about it. But I don't have my Google Translate on.
We all speak the same language. It's love. We all speak the same language.
We all speak the language of love. Lovies, we love your face. Thank you for hanging out with us on a Saturday night. Bye, guys.
This was fun. Bye, bye, bye.